Doesn't that look yummy? If you're into broccoli, I think you're going to like this dish. Broccoli, gnocchi, bake. A side dish with a little twist. So let's get to it right now. First up, we need some broccoli, about that much. Now I'm going to cut it up into small pieces, the ends. I'm going to save and I'll show you what I'm going to do with them when we're done cutting up the florets. I'm just going to chop them up into small bite-sized pieces. You make them as big or as small as you want. I just prefer it this way. I find it a lot easier to eat when you're not having to mess with big chunks or cut them up. So there you go. Both those heads nice and chopped up into a bowl about that size. It looks good. Now I've taken the leftover broccoli, chopped it up, and that's going in a freezer bag along with some others that I'd done earlier this month. And that's going to give me a whole meal. Now, it's not going to be pretty with all the florets, but it's still broccoli, and you know, most of that I would have thrown out. And you know what? It makes for a good meal. You want to save a little bit of money here and there? That's the ticket. On to our gnocchi, or gnocchi like I like saying. That's 1 pound, 1 package. Small. They actually make them in small too. So we've got to cook all this up. So we've got a pot of water, a little bit of salt. Bring it up to a boil. And the first thing to go in is our broccoli. Give it a little stir, bring it back up to a boil. We're going to let it cook for a couple minutes. And once we've got that done, in goes our gnocchi. Now, the one thing about these packages is they come out in one big clump. So you might want to break them up before you throw them in the boiling water. Mix, mix, mix. A minute or so should be plenty. And you'll see how they're starting to float. Doesn't take long at all. We'll take that off the element, over to our sink, and we're going to drain all the water. Simple so far, huh? That's what I thought when I made this. This is actually really simple. Not a whole lot to it. It looks more complex than it is. Alright, so we've strained our broccoli and gnocchi into another pot. This is 1 cup of chicken stock. And if you're trying to stay vegetarian, just use vegetable stock. It'll do the same thing. Into that goes half a package of cream cheese softened. That's 4 ounces. Now the fun part with cream cheese is breaking it up so it mixes all around. It takes a little bit of work. It's not going to be perfect when you're done. And I wouldn't expect it to be perfect. But little perseverance, mix, 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 mix. You're going to get it mostly broken down. And to that, because that's not enough cheese, we need more cheese. This is mozzarella. We're going to put 1 cup-ish of mozzarella into our mixture. And this isn't going to take long to combine. Watch how quick this takes. Because the pot's already hot, the liquid's hot, the cheese is all melty. Oh yeah. Doesn't that look good? And, you know, for future reference, if there's another cheese like cheddar or something you want to throw in, I'm sure it's not going to hurt anything. Well, here's our pot of broccoli and gnocchi. This is the tin we're going to put it in. I forgot to spray it, so we just went right for it. In it goes. So you can see how much you're going to get out of one package and a couple good size heads of broccoli. More than enough for most dinners. And that yummy cheese sauce is going on top. We're going to make sure we scrape all of it out of the pot, I'll tell you right now. There. That looks good. And of course, you know what we got to do here. Mix, 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 mix. Get it so it's all nice and combined and yummy looking. Now, if you want a little heat, throw in some hot peppers. Some pepper flakes. That'll give it a nice little heat. And if you don't, we're going to put some cheese on top here. You can always sprinkle some on the top later on. Up to you, however you want it. I chose not to just because I knew who I was making this for and they would have whined about it. But if you got a few people that really like spices, go for it. So this is another cup of mozzarella. I'm pretty well just finishing off the bag at this point. There's maybe a little more than a cup left to go. There. That's it. There, that bag's done. Okay, looks good. We got to get this into the oven. 400 degrees for a good 15 minutes. And when it comes out, it should be browning up like that. I kind of wish I would have left it another 5, maybe 10 minutes to get all nice and brownie. But it was still good. Listen, this is a great idea for a side dish. You're not going to be disappointed. Believe me. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.